I saw your tweets, which I always find very interesting and informative, whether I agree or disagree with them. And underneath it said Russian state-affiliated media. And I immediately thought there's something very wrong with that. Why do you think that your account has been targeted in this way?
Well, it doesn't make any sense. To be honest, it's Kafkaesque. I did work for Associated Press, an American company, the last time I looked, and they did sell my program to RT. And so at a stretch, they could have described me as working for Russian state media, even though that wouldn't have been technically correct. You could understand it, but I no longer do, and in fact can't. In fact, would be committing a criminal offence if I did. That's where we've got to in Britain. The state closed the television channel down that my program used to appear on. And then, in a double whammy, Liz Truss, in a pronunciamento, I've not yet seen the law, if indeed law it is, further said it would be a criminal offence to work for any Russian state media, whether paid or unpaid, it says implicitly. And therefore, I literally have now no connection with Russian state media. All the time that I did, I never had this Twitter designation. I've now got a Twitter designation when the government has made it literally impossible for that designation to be true. So I feel sure that my lawyers will be successful in having it removed, but it's terrible, truly terrible, as a symbol or sign of where it is that we have got to, because Twitter is quite clear about the discriminatory intent of placing this label on you. They explain it as suppression, algorithmic suppression, that you will no longer show up in searches and so on. But the great British public, Lawrence, in the less than 24 hours, well less than 24 hours, since this happened, my Twitter following has risen by more than 10,000 in less than a day. So they might be suppressing me from the search engines, but the public are finding their way to me nonetheless.
And why do you think that, bearing in mind that if it's Russian state-affiliated media and half the front bench of the Tory party and the front bench of the Labour Party have also been on Russian state-affiliated media and subsequently denounced it and been paid, David Davis being one of them, why does he not have this? What I see as it's a sort of pejorative label that they put under you. They're saying when it says Russian state-affiliated media, it says, do not trust George Galloway, this man is a shill in some way. Why doesn't David Davis and other MPs who have taken money have this written under their name, do you think? Why have they targeted you specifically?
Well, I am smiling, but it's quite sinister, really. If you could see, and because I like you, I wouldn't expose you to it, the filth that has come my way privately and even some publicly over the last 20 hours or so, it would shake you rigid. I mean, death threats doesn't cover the blood-curdling vileness that has issued across the ether to me and my wife and so on. These things have consequences, to label someone a witch runs the risk of someone actually burning us at the stake. The point that you make is, of course, valid. If I tell you that I have had on my sofa, on my television show, on Russian state media, no less than Jacob Rees-Mogg, Lord Peter Lilly, Lord Zaplenty, Lord Zaleeping, Tory members of Parliament lining up to be on the show, as well as minor royalty and so on. So you're right. Why me? Well, call me vain if you like. I have now 410,000 followers on Twitter. I have literally millions of followers across social media as a whole, and I'm quite good at what I do. And what I'm doing is opposing the war drive of NATO, and people want to hear that point of view. They don't necessarily agree with it. I'm sure that many of them don't agree with it. But sensible people want to hear all sides of an argument before making up their mind. People are not sheep, although our government likes to imagine that they are and very much hopes that they are. So I think that's the reason for this move now, because it has no logic. You don't give me this designation when I do make programs for Russian state media. You do give it to me when I no longer do, indeed no longer can, even if I wanted to.